Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listening to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Causeway Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up?
Yeah, like talk
long
about
walks
yourself.
on the bee.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all of the zodiac.
Oh,
If you couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
But I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it.
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
Listen to this disc jockey's introduction to Montavani's Lazy Garden.
And we're back, Causeway Street Podcast, the first episode of 2018. Josue Pavone here, Joel Pavone, Sean Dutra. The three of us are all back together.
I all of a sudden feel very far away from you guys.
Yeah, because
we don't want no sickness from you.
Joel's about to say exactly what I was about to say. Took the words right out of my mouth because you're so damn sick.
Remember?
Both of you
I'm
have been
feeling
sick
great
lately,
now.
but
I'm feeling great.
You were. I've never heard you sound like that before, and I've known you for quite some time. And when I called you that night, just to see what was going on, see if you were alive, because we had Joel and I, so we have a group text going about the show, about everything, about life. And Sean hadn't responded for 24 hours while we had this thread going. I was like, all right, let me call this guy, see what's going on. You sound like you were on your deathbed, man.
It was one of these.
Hey.
Yo, you all right, Sean?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
That's literally how it started.
And then I was just like, just say
like-
what,
and then- no,
say
no, no,
what
then
you
you-
need to motherfucking say, man.
Not even.
like-
No, you
he's like-
paused for a second, and
he's
then
like,
neither one of us spoke, and then you go, dude, I'm fucked up right now.
You're like,
Verbatim. That's how that conversation started.
what day is it?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. But I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. Everything's fine and dandy. So
Good,
let's
'cause
get into these.
We got a lot to get into. Of
Yes,
course. I
let's
mean,
do it. I'm sorry I missed the live show, everybody. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah. For starters, we got the Cavs. I mean, what the hell is going on in Cleveland? They lost 6 of their last 9 games. Some awful blowouts, followed by blowing a 22-point lead against the Pacers. So we have to talk about that.
Oladipo, baby.
Also, we'll get back in. We have to dive back into this
Lance.
conversation because we have another topic that's been updated. Joel and I got into it last episode, but since Sean's around, I can't wait to hear his take on it. Isaiah Thomas wants the Celtics to postpone that tribute video, but then Paul Pierce, the truth, says, hold on, young fella.
Flip-flopping.
That's my night. That's my
Stone
night.
Cold Steve Austin.
Pump the brakes there, young fella. I put
Smashing
years in
those
over
beers.
here. I put years in over here. We'll get into that, of course.
Ooh.
But first things first, man. Let's talk about the Celtics. This is a Celtics podcast, right? I mean, what? 7 in a row now? 34-10. Tied with the Warriors
Are
for
the
the
Celtics-
most wins in the NBA right
Are the
now.
Celtics playing the best basketball they played all year?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely. You
I
know what's
think
the best
so.
part about it, too? Everyone is healthy.
It's crazy.
Marcus
It's
Morris
crazy.
finally got the restriction lifted, and he was so riled
That
up,
was
dropping
definitely-
19 points. He was getting ready to knock out Ben Simmons. That's how amped up
Definitely,
he was.
definitely his best game as a Celtic,
Really?
I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Marcus Morris has just been nothing but consistent every time.
No, he has.
He's
You're right.
actually been able to play. Like everyone wanted to say, "Oh, well, Marcus Morris, you never know what you're going to get out of him." No, I know exactly what I'm going to get out of him
We've
every
seen it.
single
Right,
night.
right.
Like I know exactly what's going to happen.
Right, so the game was in London, of course. I mean, we had a 3 o'clock matinee. I mean,
That was the only way the Celtics to get some rest going across the pond.
that's
I-
right.
I actually
that's
got
right,
it-
and it looked like it paid off. But real quick,
actually got
I'm
in
being
trouble.
rude, guys. I'm being mad rude. We have
Oh.
a guest in studio.
Oh, there he is.
Who took the time out of his day to come kick it with us, and I haven't even introduced him. Tim Tunis, the resident Suns fan. Building.
He's shrugging his shoulders like, well, whatever, man.
Tim was like, you know what? I gotta spit some NBA knowledge because a lot going on in the NBA. Let me come over to Causeway Street, see what's going on. Isn't that how it happened, right, Tim?
That is how it happened. And I thought I would be introduced a little earlier.
Well,
I know it's a little rude.
I mean,
a little rude.
it's only been 5 minutes,
A
but
little
okay,
rude,
you're
know?
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
like 7, 8.
It's
Come on.
we've legitimately all said like 4 words each,
I
man.
was
Why
just
don't you
sitting over
relax
here,
over
you know
there,
what I
right?
mean?
We don't have to
Take it
introduce
easy,
you
take
until
it
we're
easy,
ready
take
to do it,
easy,
all right?
I don't even know.
We
what
get
to
it.
say
We get
right
it. You
now.
are.
I don't
you
even
are-
know what to say.
You
right
are a
now.
resident Suns fan.
listen.
We understand.
Listen, we understand. You're mad Devin Booker's not going to make the All-Star team, okay? We're over it. All right, let's keep going about Celtics.
Let's do this. Let's open the floor for Tim. Let's hear what Tim has to say about the Boston Celtics. Quick start. I know you didn't expect this. None of us did. So I know you didn't expect this quick start. What's your take on this team after this big win against the Philadelphia 76ers? And I say big because of course, another huge comeback by 22 points. Came back and beat them in London. What's your take on it?
Yeah.
The bottom line, as a Celtics person, the person who likes the Celtics, obviously I'm a diehard Suns fan, but I always root for the Celtics unless we're playing the Suns.
Just go.
I have nothing but positive things to say except for one thing. They got to stop digging themselves into holes, because you do that in the playoffs against a good team.
8-4, down 13.
You're not going to find yourself continuously coming back against playoff teams in a 7-game playoff series when you're down 20-plus points. Other than that, seeing how the Cavs are playing right now, seeing how the Raptors have continued for the last couple of years since they've had DeRozan, Lowry, been a legitimate team, have fallen apart in the playoffs. It's hard for me to pick the Cavs over the Celtics right now in a 7-game series.
Thank you.
To be honest,
I
mean,
agree.
there's still a lot of time left. We're not even at the All-Star break, but right now, if the playoffs started right now, I would be picking the Celtics to get to the finals.
Is it coincidence that Isaiah Thomas has come back and the Cavs have just fallen apart? Nope.
They were falling apart before that, though. Yeah, they were. Come on.
They were falling.
Come on,
No, time out.
Sean, wait a minute.
Come on.
He doesn't even have the restricting lift today yet. Come on. Let's wait a couple of weeks before
which I get.
start saying
Okay,
that. So before we start that narrative, let's wait a couple of weeks.
Okay, fine. But
See-
I'm just saying that the Isaiah Thomas that I have seen on the court has been literally like, and I get it's a minutes restriction, and I was the first person to say that he would not come back full strength. But I thought he'd be a little bit better than the way he's playing right now.
The first game he came back, he balled out.
That's
He
adrenaline.
played great.
That's adrenaline.
Yeah. But then after that, they lost 2 games straight, 25 points plus. The first time, the second team in the league this year to have that happen. My Suns haven't even dropped 2 games, 25 points plus. And that's the first time in LeBron's career that's
Wait.
happened.
Are you sure?
I would put
no.
$1,000
It
on
was-
the fact that they've lost two in a row by 25. I mean, it's the Phoenix Suns, bro.
I'm sorry, but am I the Suns fan? Do
I don't
I
know.
watch
I don't
every
know.
game?
Either way,
They lost by 48.
Okay,
Then
so
lost by 2 to the Lakers.
first
and
off,
then lost by 45.
I have
to the
two
Clippers, all
problems.
right?
I have a
Not
problem
back to
with
back.
everything.
Not back to back. All right?
We've invited
All
Tim.
right?
We've invited him on the
But,
podcast, and I have a
but
problem
on
with
a serious
everything
note,
that
on a
he said
serious
so
note,
far.
Dutra,
Everything
on
he
a
said.
serious note, I was thinking the same thing as you. Because, yes, the Cavs were losing games before Isaiah came back, but not this bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look
Not
like that.
blowing leads
Attitude,
like they lost,
right?
that they blew tonight, and not losing games in the 30s. LeBron was a minus 38 again in their game.
What?
Their game 2 or 3 games ago.
Yeah.
He was a minus 38 or 39.
39. Yep.
Yeah,
It's not good.
like that's not.
That was to
normal.
the Timberwolves.
So
The Timbies.
So I'm gonna
I
say
love the way you just threw in the fact that they lost the game by 45 points. And then they lost by 57 points,
No, no,
okay?
no.
That's a big difference.
Back to back. All right, it wasn't back. to
That was
back.
yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
He's like
All right.
they lost 3 in a row, but in between
in between they
the
only
2
lost
worst
by
losses
5.
in history.
It was
in NBA
57,
history.
5, and then 48. Okay, so at least give him some credit.
I believe, I'm not quoting you on this, but you were like, they're giving up like 135 points a game.
Yeah. You can't. Don't even, Tim. Come
All
on.
right, here's the problem in Cleveland. All right, everybody is playing one hero ball when they go down by these huge deficits.
J2.
What happened to the continuity? You know what I mean?
Well,
you don't see that anymore. And this is a team that's been together for what now? 3 years?
I will say this.
For
This
the
is
most part,
this is
these
one
players
of
have
the.
been together for a while.
This is one of the things that I thought that Isaiah wasn't going to work on this team, because the whole thing that last year, like when the Celtics had it going, it was the crew that had it going. Like it was Isaiah, Avery, Jay. Like they all had this cohesiveness. They just worked together. But it was all Isaiah, right? Now he's supposed to take a backseat to LeBron, but LeBron needs him. Where I don't think that Isaiah is going to be able to be like, I'm the second best player on the team.
Well, he can do that, but he's not used to it.
He's not used to it.
He's been the go-to guy.
Well, exactly. Like that's why I think there's a big thing. There's a big problem with like Isaiah fitting in with the Cavs. Like everyone wanted to say, Isaiah, you're going to be wide open when LeBron drives.
That's the thing, Sean. I'm not quite ready to say it's a problem yet, because I know he's not 100%. B, the minute restriction can really play mind games with you. You know, especially after that debut.
Sure.
After the Cavaliers debut, I think that's fool's gold for him, right? He's thinking, okay,
what you
I'm
felt
back.
like, I'm back, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll skip the Boston game. He dropped 19 in against Orlando.
Yeah,
in Orlando.
I think they said he put up like 45 points in the first like 40 minutes
Those
he played.
two games. Right.
Which was like awesome, dude.
And then it was all downhill from there. He
Yeah.
dropped. I mean, he missed his first 11 shots.
But here's
against Toronto.
Here's my problem though. Is like
huge blowout.
that Toronto game. This is my problem.
I'll tell you my problem about that game, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
If Isaiah Thomas was the leader of the team on any team other than the Cavs, they would, even if he was limping around with one fucking leg, they would have shown up for that Toronto game because they knew this is our direct competition right now. That Cavs team looked like a pile of dog doo-doo.
Yeah, but I hate the fact that people give them these excuses that like, oh, well, yeah.
I'm not giving them any excuses.
They didn't show up, and you know, it's just because it means more to Toronto than it means to
No.
We heard the same narrative when the Celtics blew them out at TD Garden, right?
I will say this.
Oh, that doesn't mean that much to them.
I don't like watching.
It should mean a lot to you.
I don't like watching
Boston
Cavaliers
and Toronto
games.
I
don't like watching Toronto games. I watched that game, and Toronto didn't come out like a house of fucking like they were ready to play. They just like played a regular game, and the Cavs were dead. There was a point where they were down by 30 points that they actually relied on Jay Crowder to like take them out of the hole. Like Jay had to like block a guy, and then when everyone was like, Reggie Miller was like, "Whoa, that's why they signed Jay Crowder." I'm like, "Yo, you're down 30 points, bro."
First of all,
Reggie
Reggie Miller's awful.
Reggie Miller's awful, but I mean though. Is the fact that if you are the Cavs and you are relying on Jay Crowder to spark your team when you have Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, and LeBron James on your team, you got issues. You got issues, and they're not good. And they're not going to be fixed anytime soon.
I think part of the reason why people will give excuses to the Cavs for some of these bad games is because in the past, they've had bad games in the regular season, but then the playoffs come around and they don't typically have those games. But this year,
Kyrie was on those teams. So.
That's true. This year feels different. Not only for that reason, but also because I feel like LeBron cares about the MVP this year. Like he wants to get the MVP this year. I don't think he's really
to get it every year though.
I don't think so. I don't think he's really. I think this year he legitimately thinks.
I don't know
have a
about
chance.
that. I don't know about that.
I think he knows he can't beat the Warriors.
Well, before we got more into this conversation, when you said the biggest problem you had about the game was, you know, what you saw between the two teams. My biggest problem was what happened on the sidelines. LeBron James getting into it with his assistant coach, screaming and hollering, you know, going off, showing like
you can say it, Sway. He was hooting and hollering.
Is this
over
the
there.
thing that Kyrie liked? It like the
yeah.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second. But my whole point is
this the same.
It's the same thing. It's the same rant. But my whole point is, why does LeBron James get away with this? Why? Because he's LeBron James.
Yes.
If Kobe Bryant did that to Phil Jackson, it would be a story.
Well,
you name
LeBron's
any player,
never had a coach.
Okay, all right. Well, how about right now? You name any player in the NBA. Name one. Kevin Durant. If he does it to Steve Kerr, it's a story. Heck, if Kyrie Irving does it to Brad Stevens, that's a big story. Name any other superstar that could get away with that. Why does LeBron get away with that? What kind of leader is that?
I am not surprised at all by this. I've been saying for years. I think you go back to the first Causeway Street episode, and I probably have said LeBron James is the best player on the team. He's the coach. He's the GM, and he's also the owner of this team. Whatever team he's on,
He gets away with it.
he says, "I have full power to do whatever the hell I want to do." So wait, hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Eric Spoelstra is not a bad coach.
No.
And he made him look like the worst
We all
coach
thought
in
he
the
was.
NBA.
We all thought
we all thought he was because
Definitely thought he was.
now he takes a team. Now he takes a team that is Deion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside, and he brings them to the playoffs.
Hey.
They're
Like
looking really
Eric
good right
Spoelstra's
now.
a
They're
good
looking
coach.
Dragic.
They're looking
Come on
really
now.
good right now.
Dragic is on that team as well. But all I'm saying is David Blatt was not a problem. He was not a problem.
That's questionable.
No,
Why do you
it's
say
not
that?
questionable.
He took that team to the NBA Finals. Why
It's-
would you say that?
true.
Can I?
He was a problem
I
because
can't say
LeBron
what I
didn't like
wanna
him.
say.
That's
I
why.
can't say what I want to say.
He was a problem
Yeah.
because LeBron didn't like him.
It's true.
And I just don't get
I'm
why.
not gonna say it, Joel.
It's
You know what
not-
I'm trying to.
I don't
you know
get
what I'm
why he
thinking.
gets a pass.
You know what I'm thinking. David Blatt's a white old school coach, man, and
So-
LeBron wasn't
because he
having
used to
any
coach
of
in
that.
Europe and that type of thing. That's
Yep.
what you mean?
That could be.
He was a
It
white
def-
old
hey,
school
that
coach,
could
and
have a lot
LeBron
to
was
do with
like,
it.
fuck you, I'm not listening to you. And that was it. That was it.
There's nothing wrong
Sometimes
with saying
sometimes
that,
I wonder.
That's true.
That
could be 100%
No,
true.
but
sometimes I wonder
you
if Kyrie Irving liked Blatt.
You think about
we'll never know.
No, I think Blatt's a good coach. I think Blatt's a good coach.
The whole reason why Kyrie liked the whole video of him going off on the team and his assistant coach
because he's been there.
Was because he
there.
was like,
he's been
this is
huddle.
why I left. This is why I wanted to leave because I couldn't stand this shit. And
you know what else too? Because he gets a pass. You think Kyrie likes the fact that he gets a pass? That
think
he doesn't have to hold himself?
And
but
you
the
think
fact that he
Tyronn
doesn't
Lue's a better coach than David Blatt?
No, I'm not saying that.
Absolutely not.
Who said that?
No, I'm just saying.
Wait, first of all,
I'm just throwing
David
that question
Blatt,
out there.
Like you can't really. He could have been good. He could have been bad.
He didn't have enough time. It was a small sample size.
Yeah, you have no idea what kind of coach he was.
My point is Kyrie Irving liked that pick.
Could have been a great coach. Could have been a terrible coach. Could have been
we don't know.
Okay, coach.
LeBron didn't give him the chance.
My point.
That's a fact.
My point is LeBron James gets away with that, and I think Kyrie liked the picture or liked the video because he's like, look, this used to happen a lot, and no one bats an eye. No one questions his authority. No one questions his attitude. No one questions, is that really best for the team? You know what? Are you really helping your teammates
what's annoying is
when you spaz out like that in the middle of a timeout?
What's annoying is like when it works, that's the only time people really talk about it. When like, oh, they're down 15-20, LeBron went nuts on the sideline.
NBA Finals.
Came back
Game 7. NBA Finals.
That Antoine Walker talk.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
That Nets game?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You can check the Causeway Street Podcast to see exactly what he said. Go back to episode what?
100.
100.
So easy to remember. Game 3.
Hey, also, what I will say is that the fact that the media is picking up on this now, just because like they're struggling, is a problem. Because LeBron James has been doing this forever, and like the fact that I feel like a broken record when anytime we talk about LeBron James, I call him an asshole, a douchebag, all this stuff because he is, man. He legitimately is. Like, and then when things don't go his way, oh, well, LeBron's yelling at his coach. Is the coach the problem? Well, maybe you ever think that LeBron's attitude may be the damn problem?
Yeah, but if he's not that I'm defending, but if he's producing and putting up MVP type numbers and the team is not responding,
fine.
Is it really all on him though?
No, it's not.
It's not all on him.
It's not all on him. I'm not saying
maybe the leadership.
No, it's his leadership qualities.
Okay,
he's not a good leader.
Right.
He's not a good leader. I've said this. I've said this every single time I talk about LeBron James. He's one of the best basketball players of all time, but he's one of the worst leaders of all time.
But he makes his players better.
No,
right?
he does not.
Yes, he does.
No, he does
Sean,
not.
He does. How's Mario Chalmers' career been?
Mario
since
Chalmers
last time he played with him.
Tore his Achilles, and that's what's ruined his career. He was going to be a stud on Memphis.
He was going to be a what?
Stud.
Stud. Okay. I think Tim has somebody else in mind.
Rebuttal?
No, I don't have anybody else in mind. It's just he makes his teammates better.
No, he doesn't.
I don't like LeBron just as much as you probably, but there's no arguing that.
I doubt that's possible.
Maybe, but
let's get off the Cavs.
No, I want to stay right on him.
No, I wanted to say something. I wanted to say something about what Tim said before. But Tim got on the mic initially and started spouting off two stupid things. We talked about the first thing. The second thing is that I don't have a problem with the Celtics getting down early in games. I don't have a problem with that at all. Well, they are 8-4 coming back from a 13-point deficit.
Well, let's talk. What about?
Whoa.
Okay, go ahead.
You think that's a good thing?
I don't think.
You think in the playoffs they get down by 20+ points, they're going to be coming back like they do now?
Who's worried?
A lot. You don't think Celtics?
You're worried.
You don't think Celtics fans are worried?
You know what?
About them getting in 20-point holes on a regular basis.
Here's the beauty: the Celtics aren't worried. When the Celtics get down, the whole reason why they're able to come back is because they're not worried. I love that.
I
about this
understand
team.
that, but it's a different mentality on the opponent's end in the playoffs. And I'm not talking
in a
about
7-game series.
I'm not talking about first, second round. I'm talking about when you run into the Cavs or. Like, you get down to the Cavs in the playoffs by 20+ points, you ain't coming back.
Tim, have you ever heard a stat that said when you're down by 13, you win 8 out of 12 games?
No, but that's not the point. Yeah,
That's
not the
how
point
the
at all.
Celtics are playing right now.
I understand that, but I'm not,
I see what
the
Tim's
regular
saying.
season is
Tim
fully different than the playoffs, and they're doing it
not
against
only that, but
garbage teams.
I think
They're
Tim,
not
garbage
doing it
teams,
against
they've
garbage
been getting down.
teams.
Tim is trying to
There's
say
been garbage teams they've gotten down to 15, 20
Houston's
points.
garbage.
Tim is
Cleveland's
trying to say
garbage.
You don't.
Cleveland's-
your goal shouldn't be to.
You just
to go
named
down by
12
double figures.
games. Have they played Cleveland 12 times this year?
No, okay. They've played. They went down against Charlotte without fucking Kyrie, but whatever. They've been down a lot. They get down. They get down.
And that's the one bad thing I said. That's the one negative I have to say. Is it,
But-
obviously
Well, I mean,
their
I see-
mentality is great to come
Tim,
back in those
Tim,
But I
games.
see
Tim,
Sean's point because
I say it's a good thing in the regular season.
no. I mean, it's been a good thing per se because of the teams they've done it against.
Yes,
Golden State. They didn't win the Cleveland game, but
Houston.
the first game.
Well, they came all the way
they
back.
came back from 18 down. Okay.
And Gordon Hayward has
Dallas.
not played a minute since then.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
Dallas.
not Gordon Hayward has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does.
Houston.
They're not going to get down by 20 with Gordon Hayward. So if he comes back, then it'll be a
So
different story.
that does have a lot to do with it.
No, because if he doesn't come back, then they could still be getting down by 20.
Here's
what
my-
you're trying to say right now is it's pretty much a good thing that they're getting down by 15, 20 points on a regular basis.
I mean,
You think that's a good
my
thing?
my only concern about what Sean is saying, and you brought it up too, that how many times are they gonna be able to pull it up and like win
In the
these
playoffs?
games? No, not just the playoffs. Just
No,
in, just in
I'm
general.
talking about in the playoffs. That's all I care about.
Here we go.
I mean, I think it's harder for that to happen in the playoffs because
May I
you're
say
playing
something?
somebody. If you're playing somebody like more than 2 times, you already know how you're gonna play them.
How many games did the Celtics won this year? Just say it.
34.
All right. -8. 34 -8. Let's do the math, guys.
26.
It's 26. Yeah.
28. You just said 28. Joel said
He
28.
said 28. He threw his
And
mic
keep in
away.
Correct
mind-
answer is 26,
Keep in mind,
Joel.
all I said was that's the one bad thing I have to say is it's not a good thing to
I
get
know.
down by
I
20
know.
plus
I
points.
know.
And the comeback is great. That's
Okay.
awesome that they can keep coming back, but you can't sit here and say it's a good thing.
All I'm saying, it is a good thing because this team is battle tested. Like, if it happens in the postseason, like it has only happened 8 out of 12 out of their, what are we, 43 games in, 42 games
44.
in? You just made that
No,
number.
no,
No,
that sounds
no,
about
I
right.
do the pregame
Well,
report, man. I
34
say
and
what
10.
game
Yeah,
number it
the
is. Game
34
number
and 10.
44.
Okay,
34
so
and 10,
12 out of
right?
44?
Why would I
Yeah.
just make something like that?
What's the percentage of
You make
12
it
out of
sound like I said
44?
52 or something.
Hold on. What's 44 divided by 12?
Sean, what is your problem, man?
Whatever it is.
Why are you making me do math right now?
It's like a 20% chance that they're going to go down by
It's so easy to
13.
ask the question and then not answer it. You put everybody else on the spot.
It's about a 20% chance they're going to go down by 13, right? And 75% of the time they're down by 13, they're going to come back and win. That is awesome, man. Like, I don't think you understand, like,
Sean
the
over here
fact
with this
that
little formula. He's like,
I like
34x plus
like there's a
certain
certain
amount of losses.
What do you have
There's
to
a-
say that's bad about the
plus a
Celtics?
13
Do they
point
just
deficit.
Are they just
no,
perfect?
Nope. There's a small chance. No, I'm saying I hate the fact that people are saying that, oh, they're getting down by so much.
I didn't say it's a
this isn't-
huge deal.
this
All I
isn't
said was that was the
good.
one
This
bad
is good.
thing I
well,
said,
guess what?
right? Like,
They've won
yeah,
more
you
than
get
they've
mad
lost
at
when you get
defensive
down
to
by
it.
double
All right,
digits.
all right.
You
so
get
then-
mad defensive.
all right,
Like, it's
so then-
not like I'm
No, I just think
trashing
it's a
on the
stupid.
Celtics.
I
It's
just think it's a
like-
stupid argument.
Okay, so
All right.
then what bad? What? So there's nothing bad about the Celtics.
I can give you
Ever.
plenty. I
There's
can give you
nothing
plenty.
ever bad about the Celtics.
No, I can give you
right?
plenty. We need a scorer off the bench. I mean, I don't believe in Terry Rozier yet. I don't believe that Terry Rozier is going to be a solid scorer off the bench. Terry Rozier has been playing great recently. But before he started scoring all these double digits and 15-plus points in, 6 consecutive games? And then I think he broke that on this London game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is you need a scorer off the bench because you don't have that. So when Kyrie may not be scoring and Marcus isn't scoring, which happens more than not, and Terry isn't getting the minutes to score.
All right, so then doesn't that predicate to Tim's point in the playoffs that when you have Jason Tatum, who's never been in the playoffs, Jaylen Brown barely played in last year's playoffs, Marcus Morris barely has been in the playoffs in his whole career.
Yeah, so
'cause he played for
so
the damn
but
Suns.
okay, but I will say this. But I will say this.
Sorry, Tim.
Who was the leader? Who was the leader of this team? Who's the leader of this team?
Okay, it's Kyrie Irving. Okay,
And who's the other leader?
Al Horford.
And who's the other leader?
That's it. Right
Brad
now.
Stevens.
Oh, well,
And Marcus Smart.
because he plays. Okay.
They know what to do in the playoffs to win games. Like they do. And Kyrie more than anybody. So like I'm
Yes,
not
but
worried
there's a
about
lot
this
of other
happening.
Teams in the playoffs that have players like that who have been in the playoffs and gone deeper in the playoffs. So
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about this losing. I'm not worried about going down early and coming back. If we were talking about 13-point losses every single game, if they lost
Obviously, that would be a bigger problem than
comeback wins.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it's like, stop freaking out about the comeback wins. They're coming back and winning the game.
Did I freak out? I said there's one negative thing I have to say. They can't keep getting in holes.
And I'm telling you that's not a negative.
That's not a negative.
No, a lot of people.
We'll see. We'll see what happens the next time the Celtics and Cavaliers face each other, which of course is going to be February 11th. I think everyone knows the date of that game because of what's going to transpire. The drama is going to happen,
That's the
guys.
Super Bowl. That's the day of the Super Bowl,
guys. Isaiah Thomas' tribute video because a certain Celtics legend, Mr. Paul Pierce, the truth himself, says, "Knock it off, Celtics. Come on, Celtics. You're better than that. That's my night. That's my night." And you know what? People might say, "Hey, Josue, you're contradicting yourself when you say this," but last episode, I did say I don't think it's a big deal. It takes, what, a minute and a half to do an Isaiah video?
Isaiah Thomas
What's the
needs to
big
shut the
deal?
fuck
But
up.
that was before Paul Pierce spoke up. And if Paul Pierce says, that's my night, pick another night, you listen to what Paul Pierce has to say. This is the most underrated, in my opinion, the most underrated basketball player of all time. That's fact.
Can I say...
I will argue that
I know.
with anybody
I
right
agree.
now.
I'm not disagreeing.
And look, and listen, at the end, no, but you know people are. I know you're not, but I'm saying other people, I mean, there's even people on Twitter on the national side of things, people who don't necessarily understand.
They don't understand Paul Pierce.
They don't understand Paul Pierce. They don't understand the fact that, like, oh yeah, they always say, well, he's no Kobe Bryant. No one said he's a Kobe Bryant. Okay, we get that. But my point is, look, this guy has always been the underdog throughout his entire career. This is the final curtain call. Okay, we've seen him come back how many times? We've seen so many tributes. We've seen him hit the last shot at the Garden. This is it. This is the last props, the last, whatever you want to call it, the last curtain call, Paul Pierce. If Paul wants it to be his night and he wants Isaiah to have a separate night, or as he said, if
he runs Boston,
if he wants to have a social media thing going on instead of having his own tribute video, then I say let Paul Pierce get his wishes. That's my take on it. What's your take on it? Because I know last week you didn't get a chance to put your 2 cents on the whole Isaiah thing. So here's the floor.
Before I knew about Paul Pierce's everything, all that stuff, the last episode you probably heard, I made fun of Isaiah and I said, yeah, I still think the same fucking thing. Isaiah needs to shut up. Shut up. You got traded. Guess what? I've gotten fired from jobs before. I didn't think I was supposed to get fired. I was one of the best.
You got traded for a better player.
You got traded for Kyrie Irving, who is
nothing to do with him being traded, Sean.
It has everything to do with him being traded.
He wants to play in the game. He gets honored.
To me.
I don't have a problem with
Listen to me. You know what? This is not my words, but when I heard it, I said this was the most true thing I ever heard. Isaiah Thomas fell in love with the stripper, and the stripper is Boston. And it broke his heart.
No. The stripper was his girlfriend, though.
The stripper was Danny Ainge.
They were dating for a while.
The stripper was Danny Ainge. Oh, yeah. The stripper was like, I'm all yours, Isaiah. I'm never going to strip again.
And he made that stripper a star.
I'm never going to strip again.
He made that stripper a star.
You know what? I'm going to give you.
Conference finals.
I'm going to make you.
He bridged the gap.
I'm going to make you. You know what? He got that stripper. He got that stripper. He got that stripper a job at Bank of America.
I agree with him wanting to do it another night. But if Paul Pierce says, I want that to be my night and I don't want it, I say you honor those wishes. Because there's some people who are saying, like, come on, Paul.
Okay, but
why are you being a baby about this? It's like, wait, what?
Hold on.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on. So then what about the broadcast, the ESPN broadcast of the Celtics taking on the Cavaliers? The video that he actually posted on his Facebook the very next day when he was like, oh, Isaiah could be the appetizer that day. And I'm the main course.
Plus, your jersey retirement's after the game, right?
Yeah, I'm after the game, so it'll take nothing. I'll be excited to check IT out.
It's like a 3-hour ceremony after the game? 3-4 hours, probably?
No, I'll keep it short. 2.5.
He's 3 years, couple of All-Star games. He's the appetizer. You the Hall of Famer. You the main course and the dessert.
Give him some love. We're giving him a matinee. You get IT at halftime, me after the game.
And then you come the next day on the job talking about, like, hold on. And before he even said anything, you got Steven Jackson like, no, man, that's P's night. That's P's night, you know. I got records in Charlotte. Why don't they give me a special night? Like, relax, Steven Jackson. You played with 7 teams, all right? Calm the fuck down.
Night I get my jersey retirement, I'm not sure I want to look up at the Jumbotron and see Isaiah highlights.
Bro,
after all the years I put in.
You don't need to share that with nobody.
You know, I had a chance to watch Kobe's, and throughout the game, the timeouts, it was a lot of tribute videos for him, and I enjoyed to watch that throughout the game. Now, hopefully, the Boston Celtics will do that for me. I'm not sure if I want to see an Isaiah video that night.
Yeah, you
All right?
see,
You know what I mean?
the thing
So
about
then,
Paul Pierce
I think,
is,
hold on, but I think that somebody got in Paul's ear and they were like, you know what, yo, have fun with this.
Yeah.
Stir the pot a little bit and see what kind of reaction people are going to give to you on the.
I do think it's an outside influence.
It's an outside influence.
Well, no, Paul Pierce got into Paul Pierce's head. Paul Pierce's like, wait a minute, what am I saying right now?
No, I think
This guy
Paul.
played
I
2 years in
think
Boston.
Paul.
If he had
Paul
said that from the
realized-
beginning, I would have been like, you're right. You know what I mean?
Exactly what Sway just said. Like, first of all, Larry Bird night, and I'm not saying he was a Paul Pierce. I mean, I'm not saying Paul Pierce was Larry Bird.
But that's the whole
they
day.
didn't even
though.
have a game for Larry
That's
Bird.
what I'm saying.
They
That
just
was
had
the whole
thing.
a whole night
Paul
for him.
Pierce is like the next. He was like next after
Okay, but
Larry Bird.
Paul Pierce, the thing is
That
going to be
whole
after
night
the
should
game.
be about him.
But it's going to be after the game.
And
It's a
I
Sunday
understand
afternoon.
your
But
argument
it's all
about
through
how
the
when
game. It's all through the game.
He first came out being like, "Oh, I don't care."
No, he assumes it's going to be all
But-
through the game because he said, I like what the Lakers did for Kobe. And after every timeout, after every quarter,
Hey,
they
Kobe-
did something. I hope the Celtics do that for me.
Yeah.
I hope they do that for me.
Yeah, I've been
You know
on
what I'm
record
saying?
To go
saying
back to
Kobe
your
ruins
point, Joel,
everything, man. Kobe ruins
about-
everything.
So then if the if the freaking
Joel's passionate about this.
no, but listen, if the what's the Asian lady's name? The bowl lady comes in and does her little thing, for like a minute and a half during a timeout. Is everyone to be like, oh man, you can't be taking it away from Paul Pierce Day or whatever? It's a minute and a half video.
Yeah, what if they do the? Do you think they do the Asian lady on Paul Pierce tonight though?
What if they do? Is he going to be upset?
Yo,
She gonna drop the plates that night?
what
though?
annoys me?
She's been doing that lately though.
She been
What
dropping the
annoys
plates.
me is how the Celtics are letting Isaiah dictate when it's his night.
Now I will say this.
They gave him the option.
I
So
will
then
say
be
that.
mad.
They gave him the
Be
option.
mad at the Celtics. Then be mad at Danny Ainge. Don't be mad at fucking
No, guys.
Isaiah.
Guys. So
Okay, I
so
can. Yeah, I see that.
The Celtics are obliged.
There is a
Right?
0% chance that they play an Isaiah tribute video on Paul Pierce night. Paul Pierce night is Paul
They
Pierce
can't
night.
do that.
And
It
you know
takes,
what?
It takes. They could do it the way they did it with Jay Crowder while they're introducing the Cavaliers lineup, and then as they're introducing them, they're showing like 30 seconds on the
Paul's
jumbotron.
not gonna like that.
No. Joel.
It could happen, but Paul's
It's
not.
not.
Joel.
I don't think it's. I don't
That
think it's a
shit ain't
big.
gonna
I don't think
happen.
it's a big deal
No,
because
it
it's
is a
not.
big deal.
It's not. It's not
It
a big
is
deal.
a big
No, you're
deal.
saying that because you're mad at Isaiah.
No,
That's what it is.
I'm not mad at
Yeah,
Isaiah.
you're right. You're mad because you're
were
like,
mad
he
from the
keeps
beginning.
talking. Yeah,
You were mad from the
beginning. If he didn't say
I'm not-
anything,
When he asked to postpone it, you weren't mad about that?
Oh no, I
That's what he's
think
saying. That's what Joel's saying.
I think Isaiah is an idiot because Isaiah can't Isaiah has to realize okay.
the Celtics don't have to listen to what he says.
Exactly.
Okay,
Thank
but they're
you.
listening.
Exactly. Yeah,
They're
well,
listening.
No,
That's kinda my
no. They're not listening. The only thing they did was
Ainge already
we're
said he's
not
going to do it on the 11th.
We're not gonna play a video for you on the night you don't want a video? Fine. You know what? This video is going in our back pocket. When you come back for a regular season game in fucking March
which is
of
the 11th.
2019, then
No,
we'll be
Ainge-
fine with
Ainge
playing you the video.
Ainge already said it.
I agree. I agree with Dutra here, to be honest, because
Until they play the video.
Well, and I kind of agree with Isaiah was kind of being a little bitch about the whole situation, but
yes, he is a little
and I was
bitch.
mad at him, but then you just brought to light to me I should be more mad at the Celtics because why are they letting him dictate it? You know what I mean?
They're
it's
not
Paul
letting him
Pierce.
dictate.
This is his time.
That's
This
exactly
is his
exactly
night.
what I was saying last
Paul
week.
Pierce got a ring for the Celtics. He was there for what, 10 plus years, right?
The anger's
Isaiah
misplaced.
was
The anger's misplaced. Be
Sway
mad at the
said-
Celtics. Be mad at the
Sway
Celtics.
said Isaiah was there. Yeah, he had 2 good years, but he was there for 2 years. 2 years. You know what I mean? Again, he had 2 great years, but 2 years.
The thing that gets me about Paul Pierce's career, I should say, is the fact that he's always had to take a backseat. Always had to take a backseat for missing those all NBA teams. Always had to take a backseat of all those years putting up 25, 26 points a game, not making the playoffs. Took a backseat when he had to wait after a rebuild, after another rebuild, after Danny Ainge put one final rebuild and finally gave this guy some talent. And what did he do? He stuck it out. In an era where players were dictating where they wanted to go, were demanding trades, Paul Pierce stuck it out. And it paid off, obviously. Got a championship, 2 finals appearances, NBA Finals MVP, knocked off LeBron James, knocked off Kobe Bryant, and yet he still doesn't get enough credit. Let him have his night. Let him have his night.
To fully back you up.
This is it.
I can't even remember what I was watching. It was either First Take or it was what's the one with Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless and whatever. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. That one. Undisputed.
Undisputed.
One of those shows said,
Go ahead, Skip.
and they said it.
Go ahead, Skip.
And they said,
Go ahead, Skip. Let them have it, Skip.
Yo, but they said so.
Stop lying, Skip. Stop lying.
Skip. Whatever, Skip.
They said, I forget exactly what they were talking about, but they said so matter-of-factly. They were talking about like all the big threes, all the different like big threes in the last couple, like 10 years now. Like the Celtics had obviously a great big three. And they said who was the best of the big three on the Celtics? And they said they said it like it was the almost obvious thing ever, Kevin Garnett. And I'm like, whoa. No. Like, again, I'm not a Celtics fan. Paul Pierce was the best of those big three.
You know who else?
And they said it like it was a fact.
Right. You know who
and
else
I'm
did
like,
that?
yo.
You know who else did that? Somebody else who works on that same station.
Who's that?
Nick Wright.
Who's Nick Wright? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yo,
that's what Paul Pierce asked Twitter. Who's Nick Wright?
Yeah.
Nick Wright has the audacity to say,
that might have been it, actually.
You got
that
one?
might have been the show I was watching.
Yeah, he goes, you got one championship. Kevin Garnett got you a championship. I said, wait a minute.
Dude, when
Who
they
was
said
the MVP?
That, when they
went
said
toe to toe
that,
against LeBron
I know
James?
you would have been, because I was pissed off, and I'm not even close to the Paul Pierce fan that y'all are.
Well, listen,
and I was like, whoa. Paul Pierce was definitely the best of those.
Don't get me wrong.
Those big three.
And honestly, don't get me wrong either.
Who won the Finals MVP?
Exactly.
And it wasn't even a question.
Without Garnett, they don't win. But at the same time, though, you can say that about so many other teams. And at the end of the day,
like
Paul Pierce is the guy.
Without Dwayne Wade, the Heat aren't winning those
Without
titles
Kyrie
with
Irving,
LeBron.
Cleveland still doesn't have a
right?
championship.
Yeah,
right.
like you could say that about every title team. Like the best player on the team, like all those Jordan teams, if they didn't have Scottie Pippen, probably would have maybe won a couple of them, but not all six.
To belittle Pierce like that was ridiculous, and I'm sure Celtics fans agree.
I think it was that exact show. It was Chris Carter and
Nick Wright. Yeah. Anyways, I digress.
Dude, I can't stand Nick Wright. Yeah.
Let's get into the way we wrap up every single Causeway Street podcast. Take a trip around the NBA with In Case You Missed It. And this In Case You Missed It is brought to you by MyBookie. Head over to mybookie.ag and get yourself signed up if you haven't already. I mean, I know football season is over, but the good thing about MyBookie is you can make prop bets. You can select what you want to bet on, make some money, and it's just as easy as that by heading to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Causeway. MyBookie will match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus, and you can play, you can win some money, and you can put a bet on anything you want. Not even just about the result of the football games. Head over to mybookie.ag, use the promo code Causeway, and get yourself paid. Head over to MyBookie. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, Joel, what we got here?
Okay.
In case you missed it.
All right, in case you missed it, we're going to keep this UK team going for a little bit longer here because Jaylen Brown was interviewed in an exclusive profile type of interview with a UK newspaper called The Guardian.
In London? Was it in London?
It was in London.
Oh, The Guardian. I've been on their Snapchat before when they like pretend to show Cardi B's like boobs and then they don't. I've been there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're all over that shit.
Wait, what?
Well,
yeah.
Jaylen Brown was interviewed and he spoke openly about lots of things, including racism, Trump, and of course the Celtics.
Fuck Trump.
And that was the consensus of that interview. But
so wait, was this before or after the
shithole?
Shithole.
This is
Fuck
before.
Trump. Fuck Trump. I can't believe this guy's our fucking president.
There you go, Jalen.
This is before.
There you go, Jalen.
How much does he need to say to get impeached?
Yeah, but listen, Sean. Listen, Sean. How about Jalen setting the stage and then Trump just like going exactly with what he said?
No, how about
he made these comments before Trump's comments, and
it's
then
not
it's like
fucking rocket science. We have a racist as a president.
But I love the fact.
You know what?
I love the fact that Jaylen Brown's using this platform to do that, and he gives zero fucks about it.
Well, how about
I will say this right now.
How about a lot of people
Trump's
who are
gonna
not
say something
not in
racist
agreement
in the next month?
He says something racist every
gonna
day.
be right.
But anyways, but with Brown, he's gone obviously a lot of flack on social media, whatever that sports athletes should stick to like basketball or whatever sport they play. I mean, I don't understand why like all of a sudden now in this day and age, athletes or entertainers or people on the spotlight can't talk about anything else besides their job. Like why is that?
You mean in the social media era?
No, I'm just.
I can't believe it. No, I'm being a dick. I'm saying
don't be facetious.
Exactly.
I'll tell you
that's a better word than dick. Yeah,
I know why.
Being facetious because at the end of the day, this is the time where everyone speaks.
But
the
it's
mind,
now
right?
though. It's now that this douche has been in the office that's a problem.
Well, here
When Obama was in office, it wasn't a problem.
No.
When Bush was in office, it wasn't.
That's
a
when the
problem.
era started. When
You know what I
when
mean?
no, it was Bush. It was Bush. I mean,
no,
but
with the social media era though,
No,
that kind of
but-
No, I'm
expanded.
talking about like people who have their
celebrities.
Yeah,
No,
celebrities
that's what
using
I'm
their
saying.
platform.
Here's the problem.
During Obama's era, that's when celebrities they had that platform. You know, they all hopped on Twitter, and all of a sudden, people were stating their minds, stating their political views, and now it's gotten to where we are now.
The problem is that everyone has a voice, and if you are a famous tennis ball catcher, like you can put your voice out there on Twitter, right? Doesn't matter who you are.
What's a tennis ball catcher?
Whatever they are. Whoever those dudes are that like stand behind the match and
A ball boy?
A ball boy.
Ball boys. Yeah.
They don't have a
I mean,
voice.
you know.
Let's be real. They don't have a voice.
They don't have a voice in the tennis matches, but they can go on social media and they're like, hey, I'm the guy that catches all the balls. Like, I want to say something. But
Put it this way: you can go on social media, and let's say you had a bad time on, like, I don't know, United Airlines. They'll respond to you because you're putting them on blast on Twitter. Like, that's how big it's gotten.
So I think it has to do with social media. It also has to do with, I don't know how to say this. People are idiots, right? Idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots. Like there's
But
idiots
people have
on,
always been idiots.
There's idiots. There's idiots on both sides. So like, So like, there's idiots on both sides. So there's the idiots on the Trump side. Everything's fine. And then there's also like who knows, fucking Seal, right? Comes out and says, "This is crazy. I can't believe Trump is saying." Tell me anything about United States politics, Seal, and fucking have a conversation with me. They can't. But everybody has a platform. It doesn't matter what you actually know about it. That's the problem. That's the problem. And now, everyone knows that Trump is an idiot, but then they can all look at...
But reading this interview, with Jaylen Brown...
Now Jaylen Brown's not one of those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why the stick to sports thing goes to...
They have him confused. That's exactly what I'm going to say. They have him confused about someone who's making a legitimate point.
People aren't scared to speak out about our president because they know most people will agree with them.
And they know that literally nothing will happen.
So,
now.
like,
it's not like back in the day where, like, if you talked out about, like, Ronald Reagan or Nixon and you're making $75,000 a year playing basketball, you're probably going to get... We don't have to spend $75,000 on you anymore.
Blackballed.
But now, yeah, you're making $75 million, and you own... You have a say in what's going on. You can say whatever you want to say, which is fine.
Well,
but
a lot of what
I just think everyone should be informed of what they're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
make an
I-
opinion. Don't just go with a popular opinion.
I got you. But a lot of stuff that
But
Jalen said...
fuck Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I've done my research and fuck Trump.
100%.
But a lot of stuff that Jaylen Brown said makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does.
And it's refreshing to hear something like that from someone so young.
So young, yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So he's not just categorized that, oh, shut up and play basketball. No one's asking your opinion about politics or social change or the social climate in the U.S. I mean, for whoever, I forget his name right now, for the guy who interviewed him to choose him, because Jalen already has had a few conversations already over the summer. It wasn't talked about too much because it's like, oh, everyone's excited for the season. But I personally enjoyed what Jalen had to say, not because I agree with most of what he said, but because he backed up the stuff he had to say. So that's my opinion on that.
The reason why I didn't want to draft Jaylen Brown was because of the article that came out about Jaylen Brown before the draft.
What was that?
He was like just trying to be a contrarian about everything, like trying to like tell him why, oh, this is why I don't have an agent.
Yeah, I felt like you wanted to say something else. No, you good?
Nah, I'm just gonna back up Dutra and say fuck Trump. That's about it.
Fuck Trump. We can all agree on that.
All right.
Hey, you know what? Can I get into this?
Check. Yeah, go ahead, bro. That's what we're here for.
What the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
The fuck is
I was
going on?
saying exactly what you said before. Like, how much can a dude, a president of the United States, fuck up before we impeach him?
Because
What he said about Haiti and African nations.
Yeah, of course.
Listen,
Like,
listen.
it's
Clinton
something like that every
Clinton,
week, yo.
Clinton
Like-
got his okay.
Yo, this is exact. Yo,
And he went through impeachment, and he
Dutra.
passed impeachment.
Dutra.
But he got his
Dutra.
okay. I'm gonna ask you this right now. You listen to the podcast. Do you think you can't get your Do you think getting your
Dutra,
works
please.
than me coming out and saying racist shit? Okay.
Please stop giving me
last
more work to do.
night, I said the exact same thing to my wife. I said, how does Clinton get impeached? Because he got his by a fucking woman who works for him.
Listen, it wasn't.
But Trump can do something every single week that is the most fucked up thing you've ever heard. Like they had to.
I get it.
They
He
had
was
to
married.
censor.
It wasn't the best decision.
Get the fuck out. Who cares?
We've all been
She
there.
was an intern, okay? He abused his power.
We're watching CNN last night.
I know.
We're watching CNN last night, and they have to give the warning before. Here's a warning to all you young people. There is graphic language in this. And you're talking about the president. You're not talking about some actor.
You're not talking about Russell Crowe in fucking Gladiator.
You're talking about the president's
speech.
language. Like, when have you ever heard young people be aware?
Put the kids to bed. The president's about to speak.
I know, right?
Yeah, put the kids to bed. He may.
We apologize that we have to tell you this, but yes.
If you are Hispanic, please turn off the television right now. The president is about to address the nation, and he probably will offend you,
and then deny that he did.
And even if you're not Hispanic, if you like Hispanics,
if you're married to an Hispanic,
if you shop at Whole Foods.
If you're Haitian, if you believe in a certain, if you believe in equality,
wait,
anything that resembles equality.
If you're not a white supremacist, just shut the TV off right now. The president's about to speak.
See, that's it. Going back to Jaylen Brown real quick, that's the only thing that I disagree with him in the piece, because he said that his boiling point with Trump was when he tweeted at LeVar Ball about he's got to be more grateful.
Yeah,
that he's the one that.
Ball.
I was like, I said to myself, that was it, Brown. Really, Jaylen? That's what got you to say no? I'm done with this dude. Like, what about other stuff he's done before he even got elected? But
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
I digress.
Transgenders in the army, all that stuff.
Good God.
The list goes on.
I mean, it shows how young he is, but at the same time,
grabbing women by the vagina.
He's willing to speak out, and he's not like one of the top biggest names in the NBA. Like Curry and LeBron are two of the only players. Like coaches have spoken out against him, but they're the only two real players who have spoken out. And now that Jaylen Brown, even though the LeVar Ball thing is number like 85 on the list of the fucked up things he's done.
I love though how the only person he hasn't gone after for like speaking out against him is Eminem. He's like, nah, I'm not fucking with Eminem.
I was thinking that.
He's like, he can say whatever he wants. It's good. It's all good. Yeah, exactly, right? All right. In case you missed it, congrats to Brad Stevens on his 200th win as an NBA coach.
Already.
Becomes the 7th coach in franchise history to have reached that feat, and he did it in London. 7th. He's only the 7th coach in franchise history. Franchise. Yeah. Not NBA history. I said franchise history. So congrats to Brad.
Tim's like the NBA's been around for 60 years. What do you mean? What are you talking about? 70 years, right? Yeah. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
coaches get fired all the time.
Yeah.
How many wins Doc get?
Doc.
He got 200.
No. Doc was just shy of wasn't he just shy of 1,000?
With the Celtics?
Yeah.
No.
He has the third most wins in Celtics history as a coach.
I don't know if he's short of 1,000 though. I know he had more than 200.
Real quick, forget ass.
Hold on. This is the thing I hate, man. I'm trying to look something up, and then don't you hate this? The guy who you haven't spoken to in like 7 years decided to go live on Facebook, and Facebook wants to tell you, hey, Joe,
he's live.
Schmo over here is live. Check him out.
All right, look that up while I go on to the next topic. In case you missed it, Stephen A. Smith believes that there's one team out there that can possibly knock out the Celtics and the Cavaliers in the playoffs. 7 games.
Pacers.
The Heat.
Dion Waiters is out for the season.
The Heat. He believes that in a playoff series, that it's the Heat that can possibly knock off Cleveland and Boston.
I watched exactly this.
Yes.
And what he said was, so he was put in a position where, and I'm not a Stephen A. fan. Okay. All right. So I'm not trying to toot his horn or whatever.
That's your disclaimer.
But he was put in a position where they said, you need to make a bold prediction, an Eastern Conference bold prediction.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'm not predicting this, but if I were forced to make a bold prediction, that's what he said. Like, I would pick Miami to beat one of the top 2 seeds, Boston or Cleveland.
He's an idiot.
No. But he said he didn't believe it, but he said if he were forced to make were forced to make a bold prediction, that's what he would say.
Well,
so just
no, it's good. That's good to clarify, because the Heat have the 4th best record in the East, and only 4 games separate the 4th seed through the 9th seed in the East. So I know the Heat, they've beaten the Celtics twice. They won the season series. So maybe that has a little bit to do with what Stephen A. brought up or whatever. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know what y'all think about that.
Yeah, they're a good team, but I don't know about all that. We'll see.
In case you missed it.
That's all I got to say about that.
LeVar.
I was like half listening to that part.
LeVar
Ball.
Ball.
Find out how many wins Doc Rivers had.
That's fine. Continue. LeVar Ball says that the Lakers have tuned out Luke Walton, blaming the Lakers coach on Lonzo's struggles. And I quote, "They're soft." When talking about the Lakers coaching staff, they don't know how to coach my son. My question is, when are the Lakers going to ban this dude from the Staples Center?
No. My question is, when is Magic Johnson going to
step in?
Tell this
Well,
dude
what I'm saying,
tell
like
this
the
dude to go
Lakers
F himself. You know what I mean? Like, listen, all right, you're a player, or excuse me, your son. It was our first round pick. He's a piece of our future. But just relax, okay? We're rebuilding here. We're doing the best we can. We got some pieces here. We're working with something. We got plenty of cap space waiting for us next summer. Shut up and let us finish doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, we got after the next offseason, he can be more opinionated with where the team's going, with the direction. But keep it to himself, obviously. He doesn't have to go on his damn soapbox and do what he usually does. But I just think all this is so premature. This is like the first couple of years of Brad Stevens. If whoever play, I don't know, name a player, Marcus Smart or Kelly Olynyk's dad, one of those guys was just like,
no,
Satch.
Yeah,
like
Sellinger's son
pops. Jared Sellinger's pops was just like, I don't know about this Brad Stevens dude. You know what I mean? Like, this Lakers organization needs to step their game up. Like, relax, okay? It's nobody's playing for a championship here, okay? In LA, neither team.
Pennsylvania is a real place, man.
Neither team in LA is playing for a championship. Right now.
Hey, they made their debut.
Can I
this
just
past
say,
week.
First of all,
LeVar
I agree
brothers.
with Sway where it needs to come down to Magic Johnson being like, "Yo, just stop talking." What makes him think he can talk in this situation? Like, seriously though, you average 2 points a game in your college career at some garbage called D1 college, right? I guess you can somewhat respect what he's done with his sons, even though Lonzo or LaMelo and LiAngelo will not be in the NBA, right? They probably will never be in the NBA. But so you got one son to the NBA. Shut your mouth after that. Like, who are you to be talking? Like, Luke Walton, look what he did with the Warriors. And I know the Warriors were a stacked team, but they won 24 straight games with this dude as their coach.
Yeah. Good
right?
point.
You got a Lakers team who is just like my team, the Suns, right? Who, bunch of 21, 20, and 19-year-olds. Like, what do you expect out of them? And
Corey
what
Brewer.
annoys me the most is the Lakers, including Magic Johnson, let him speak his part. Like, they should have put this dude in his place a week into the season. You know what I mean? Like, why did they let him keep
I feel like he shouldn't be allowed at the Staples Center. That's just me. During, like, Laker games.
Yeah, if he keeps acting... exactly. Like, that's what I mean. Like, they should have put him in his place. Like, the first time he spoke up and said some stuff about their head coach, you can't come to any games. Like, period. Like, or else, like Reggie Miller said, as much as I know you guys apparently hate Reggie Miller, but
we hate him as a commentator. Not him as
what
a person,
he said
not as
was,
a player.
you have to tell him, hey, next time you speak up.
And plus, he does like all the Laker games on TNT too.
Your son's gone. We're trading your son. We're looking for we're putting him on the market. Like, next time you speak up, because they're not going to put up with that. And the only reason they're even relevant, the only reason that his name is even relevant is because he's on the Lakers. Yeah. If the Suns drafted him, nobody would care what these dudes saying. If any of these other Charlotte, Sacramento, if any of these other teams that aren't the Lakers in LA had drafted him, he wouldn't even have a voice. But Magic Johnson keeps letting him talk.
Yeah.
It's like, why does he give him, like, you're Magic Johnson, put him in his place. It's not hard.
Yeah.
When you're Magic Johnson.
Forget about LeVar Ball, man.
Exactly. Right? Like, forget about him. Yeah. But you can't, because ESPN and the Lakers organization and Magic Johnson
it's because
keep letting him talk.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's because of him that
Tim
they're on TV like 5 times a week.
But yeah, I don't have to watch him.
No, I know, but he's a big reason why that's happening. So I don't know.
They are on national.
So how many wins Doc Rivers get?
Last night they were on national TV with the Spurs. The Spurs weren't playing any of their players.
I think he's adding up all the seasons.
He's actually adding it up
individually. So why he keeps doing that?
It's over 500 right now.
All right, okay. See, Make sure you download the
So we're over 200, right?
CLNS
We're
mobile
good.
app to your iPhone or your Android.
Right near 1,000 wins.
And that is it for
In case you missed it.
Big shout out to the Greatest Bar for hosting our live broadcast last week during the Cavaliers and Celtics game. And shout out to El Capitan, Nick Gelso, for stopping by. And
Nick, get on my level, man. Get on my level.
What does that mean? Does he mean? Do you want him to get on the Dean level or the Dutra level?
475, less than 500.
Oh, okay.
I think you meant near 1,000.
Yeah.
I had to add up the playoffs wins.
Way to go, Sway.
Yeah,
Nice
because
math.
how many times they missed the playoffs? You know, well, it's only a few times.
It was like once.
Well, no, they missed a few, but then he got swept in the first round one year, and the next.
But
year.
he does have the third. He has the third most wins in franchise history, right?
No, he doesn't.
Unless you're gonna start adding up Red Auerbach's individual seasons. Patino, huh?
Yeah, definitely, man. The big shout out to the Greatest Bar. I mean, they always treat us so well. Not only the hospitality, but they make sure that everything was set. They got us a nice little spot, you know. Nick definitely joined us. He did his best Dutra impression, and he got killed because that's what happens when you talk crap about Isaiah Thomas. Read the comments right now, Sean. I'm sure people are going to love what you had to say about Isaiah.
All I know is, hey, that's tough shoes to fill, man. Tough shoes to fill.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Isaiah thing, though. I'm telling you, you talk trash about Isaiah Thomas, the Green Teamers will get you.
Yeah, I talk trash about Isaiah Thomas all the time, but I back it up.
Or if you want to talk about trading Jason Tatum, you know, I can speak. I'm speaking
Nick
from
just
experience.
can't say it. He's got to be passionate about it. He's not as passionate about it as needs to be.
I'm
if you're going to talk about Isaiah
when it comes
Thomas,
to Jason Tatum, and people
you either
got
have
all
to
over me
hate
for that.
Isaiah Thomas or you need to love Isaiah Thomas. You got to be on back and forth, man. You can't go back and forth.
He wasn't on the back and forth, though. That's the thing.
No,
that's
he
my
said-
point.
Yeah,
But he
overall-
just said-
He said, "Stop crying."
No, he
Same
just
thing
said,
you
overall he loved the player, but right now he's not a fan of him.
It's back and forth.
Well, you don't like him as a player? You don't like what he did
Right
for
now?
Boston?
Right now?
No, Nick said that he liked what he did
in Boston.
You don't like-
Obviously, we all liked what he did in Boston. You don't have to freaking say that.
It's not flip-flopping.
Flopping. Nick, stop flopping like a fish out of water, bro.
All right. Make sure you guys, for those who haven't, peeped out my Celtics top 10 moments of 2017 and my midseason report card on CausewayStreetBlog.com.
Oh, it's all there.
Hell yeah. And follow us all across all social media outlets at Causeway Street.
At
Timothy2.
Causeway Street.
Thanks.
Come
For
back
coming
again.
through.
Come back again, man. Don't wait till playoff
Nah,
time.
nah.
10 likes to
First
come
episode
through.
of
10 likes to
2018.
come through during playoff time. It's usually his time to spit some knowledge about what's going on throughout the postseason.
Let's be
because
honest.
Let's face it.
not
The Phoenix Suns aren't usually on TV around that time.
Tim,
Tim
We
will
had
still
to-
come by and say what he has to say
we had
about
to-
what's going on. The landscape of the NBA.
We had to DVR the Suns game for you to come over. That's how we bribed you
we
over
got
here.
our fill of Tim. No, let's be honest. We're not DVRing anything. They're down by 30 points right now because it's the Suns. It's the fourth quarter. It's no big deal.
It's against Houston, though. Come on.
Apparently, you can't do math. It's actually 25.
I'm surprised.
Sorry.
I'm surprised
Sorry.
Houston's still
Why
afloat
you
right
being
now
such a
without
hater right
without
now,
James
man?
Harden.
I don't hate on the Celtics. Exactly. Shut your mouth.
He has been saying this for over a decade.
That's it.
I don't
just,
hate on
I
the
was
Celtics.
just about to bring it
Why
back.
you got to hate on the Suns?
I was just about to bring it back to college, man, but we're all good. Everything's fine. Go Suns, yeah.
I only hate on the Celtics when you would trash on the Suns for no reason.
Cut him off. What are you
For
Take
no
his mic.
reason.
Take his
You
mic.
never
He's
have
done.
nothing bad to say about the Celtics. I can say bad things about the
Hey,
Suns.
that freshman year you did, though.
Yeah.
Suns weren't so great back then.
No, they weren't.
Anyways, we're up out of here. It's been the Causeway Street Podcast. Until next time,